The case is talking about chapter 24, verse 16. This incident is talking about the son of the Jewish woman that had been raped by the Egyptian taskmaster, where Moses had pronounced the name of God to kill the taskmaster for having afflicted her husband as well as raping his wife. This woman became pregnant from this rape, and she had this child. And this child, when he grew up, he wanted to encamp with the people of the tribe of his mother, which was the tribe of Dan. And Jewish religion requires that a person in the camp of his father, the genealogy of his father, he was not entitled to be encamped among the Jewish tribes. And they had this Jewish man that would not permit him to petition among them, and he cursed God. And when he cursed God, the case would take him outside of the camp, and all that heard him put their hands on him, and they should. Now the next portion, that's the one we're talking about. The curse is the name of the Lord. He certainly be put to death. And then we have a phrase that seems to be a repetition of what we said before. When not told, you must. The person that curses, the name must be put to death. It appears that we said that already in the prior portion of this passage, right? Yeah. Now, there's nothing extra in the Torah. If there's a passage that has an extra phrase in it, it means something, and we have to learn something from it. You understand? Okay, now let's go to the Gemara. So what is the second portion talking about? What do you have to talk about in the second time? We have a Gemara where we're trying to understand what it is. It says, name will put to death. It seems to be an excellent shame name. What do you mean by name? If it's not what it was discussing prior to this time, it must be talking about something else. Learning on the concept of a person, person's father or mother. When you curse God, the penalty would be to curse another one, that their honor is like eating. We're trying to build up, in other words, a general rule. A person could be found guilty of cursing on the labor of capital punishment, chapter 20, if all the conditions are right. We have the proper evidence that we can convict him of that crime. In fact, he committed a crime. If we don't have enough evidence to convict that thing, it's a question of whether or not what the type of... The mere fact that there is a failure of human justice never implies that there will ever be a failure of divine justice. There is never a failure of a divine justice. So even if a person manages that he has committed this crime, God amounts in a similar fashion the way he should have been. And also, you've got to have witnesses ahead of it. It's impossible, or in this case, if they're not religious enough, they're not considered proper witnesses.
And the judges have to be knowledgeable men, people who have children.
We build up concepts, we discuss the point, and we eliminate all the possibilities, and we say, but I don't want to go too far. I feel very bad that he... Give me one of these that translated 13 principles in which we interpret the Torah in the Gemara, Talmudic, the early players before Mashiach. And we have principles, a general principle, and to learn other laws, like the rabbis concluded that everything that's used for preparing a food is forbidden.
Can I ask a little question
Yes.
on this? If a man is wealthy enough to have two grinding wheels or whatever, he only works one at a time, so to speak. Can't he pledge one of the two hand mills because
No.
it'll stay warm?
I know.
But I don't remember what it happened.
We are creatures of habit. We don't think out what we're supposed to be doing. But the fact is, if I have that'd be chapter 22, 22.
Not be to him as a creditor. You shall you lay upon him interest.
It's not permitted to make this a business transaction like we're going to do as a play. Time of the loan, but the fact is the time comes that he should
Is this
quit.
on a brand new loan or on a continued? Why should he give extra? That becomes like
No, it's
interest.
not.
Why should
It's
there
a
be an
pledge.
extension of time without an extra pledge?
You never
I
get
The loan
paid.
was made originally.
I know. You may never get paid. There's nothing wrong with taking a pledge. To ensure you're getting your money back?
You want the person to feel that he is.
But the new pledge plus the old pledge put together.
No.
Yeah.
Although it's not a pledge, he gives this as a pledge to the borrower, and he can't pay it back. Possible. You have to keep on handling this type of a pledge backwards and forwards. It repeats this type of pledging back and forth many times. I want you to hear this. Not so highly. Many times you are really found guilty in my eyes. And you're up to me every night. When a sin is deemed wishful, and it gives me a judgment and a reckoning of how you've been performing. You're finding it, you've got it. It was found guilty. You really shouldn't have any more life. You've been messing it up. You're found guilty of not being worthful. I still return it to you, even though you really don't deserve it.
Your life, I return.
Take, give, return, even though you may think there's a lot of bother. Don't consider this, because the truth is, if a person is stressed economically disposition, if a person should have the will of God to be in that position, it is not necessarily because a person is smarter than the other person.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, because sometimes it's true. But certain families, take the Rockefellers, down from son, father to son, keeps going down the line. They've all got money, so you would think it's because.
Wait, excuse me. The case that we're talking about here is the one
Who gives the money, the loan?
Yeah, the one who gave the loan.
Yeah.
Meaning he's taking back the garment on a daily basis.
It's a waste. I mean, it's a product. So God tells them, listen, your life, you've messed things up, and I give you back your life every day.
Yeah.
So it's not saying
We can, this is the way people,
That's why they tell the story of the rabbi who was cold and leaning outside.
Right.
He knocked on the door, and the man says, come in, Rabbi. He said, well, come out here. And he came out, he said, well, what? I need more money for people who are freezing.
Then we'll give you the background. We're going to learn. We're going to learn about the case of you're prohibited to curse.
damn it. They're like condemning or cursing.
I call your attention about 8 lines from the bottom. There's which really should be printed on Roman base, but they ran out of room, so they printed on Roman house. Here, turn the page. Just look up here.
Okay, yeah,
The first thing,
I see.
and in turn, when it came to
And the greatest scholars in the world were there in Babylonia.
right.
They-
From what you had, Mashma, we hear from here that God is more particular of keeping all the aim on the honor due to a father and mother. God is
the first side of page 31. We've got the